So last year I combed and battled my way through the Home Alone film franchise. So I wanted to do something similar this year, and this time I'm going to be analysing the Beethoven film franchise. Now, Beethoven. I've never seen any of these films. I've never heard of this series of films. I'm going into this completely blind. At least when I did Home Alone, at least I'd seen, 2 or 3 of the films, but this, I've never even heard of it. What's more, this series consists of 8 films. So that's 3 more than Home Alone, so we'll just see how we get on. So Beethoven came out in 1992, and the story follows the Newton family as a St. Bernard puppy escapes from some puppy thieves who are robbing like a pet shop, and this puppy goes into the Newtons' house, and they basically adopt this puppy. They think, oh, there's a puppy, happy. So everyone's happy except for George, who's the father who hates dogs, of course. But because he kind of sees his happy family and how he wants his family to be happy, he allows them to keep the dog, but only until they find the owner. That's something that they just forget about for the rest of the film. They never find. Well, I suppose it was from a pet shop anyway, so yeah. They name the St. Bernard Beethoven, and we see through a montage that Beethoven grows very quickly from a tiny little puppy into this huge dog. And once it's huge, we see then how it's able to save the family members from different situations. So one of the little girls, Beethoven saves her from drowning. Beethoven protects the boy from these bullies. He also manages to recognise when George is being conned into selling his air freshener business to these 2 other rich people. So he disrupts that thing as well. So Beethoven proves his worth. Basically, everyone loves Beethoven, but these puppy thieves are still on the loose, and they're working with this vet whose objective throughout this film is just lost. I had no idea why this vet wanted puppies, wanted Beethoven. So this vet is trying to get hold of Beethoven, so he goes to the Newtons' house and he warns George about this theory he has about St. Bernard's dogs. They're starting to attack people now, so, you know, if they might turn on your kids, you know, that sort of thing. So George is, you know, he's got used to Beethoven being there, so he doesn't immediately listen to the vet. But then the vet fakes an attack from Beethoven, and then George says, okay, well, I'll take Beethoven to get put down. So he takes Beethoven to get put down, but then he finds out the vet faked the thing. Yeah, and you can see where this is going because this film is very average. I watch this film now and I think it's very sort of average, you know, it's nothing special. But if I'd seen it when I was younger, it probably would be one of those films that's still special now. I think my only real complaint about this film is the naming of the dog. So the Newtons name the dog Beethoven, but it's decided really quickly. So that the girl's playing the piano and they're thinking what to call the dog, and she starts playing that Beethoven piece. I don't know what it's called, I'm sorry. And immediately the whole family goes, oh, Beethoven! The dog's called Beethoven. That's it. It was such a quick moment that was such a significant part of the story, it felt like. I mean, the film is called Beethoven. You'd think they would take a little more time for the people to decide on the name being Beethoven. I thought that was my only real complaint. The other thing that just felt weird about this film was it just felt older. I was really surprised to find out that it came out in 1992. When you look at something like Home Alone, it looks good. I don't know, it might have been the cameras or the direction. It didn't look. It looked like it had a lower budget, and it did have a lower budget. You never want to be able to tell. You know? Funniest part of the film?
Oh, baby, it's not even Saturday night. Well, she tried me crazy. Has Daddy's little girl been naughty tonight?
George?
And the most savage part.
Hi, Mark.
So the music is by Randy Edelman? I don't know. The soundtrack isn't great, apart from the main Beethoven theme that I can only assume is going to run through the whole franchise. But other than that, sounded... On Rotten Tomatoes, the film is absolutely squashed. 31% for all critics and 71% for top critics. Now, that sounds completely bizarre because it's such low score and quite a high score. Do keep in mind that for the top critics, there have only been 7 top critiques who did a review, so it's gonna be a higher ratio. But 31% is... I mean, that's a really bad start. By film number 8, what are we gonna be at, you know? The film had a budget of $18 million and it absolutely smashed to the box office with $147.2 million. It's not surprising at all why Beethoven 2, the sequel, came out just over 1 year later. Also, before I go, just one fun fact is that it was written by John Hughes, who wrote Home Alone and Home Alone 2. What can I say? These films seem to be following me everywhere. Thank you for watching this video. Next time I'll be analysing Beethoven 2. If you've seen this film, please tell me in the comments what did you think of it. If you haven't seen this film... Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.